All right, here we go. We're live Tuesday, June 19th. Sportsbit betting insight today on SBRpicks.com. Pauly and Teddy. I'm at Real Sportsbit. He's at Teddy_covers on Twitter. Big game breakdown. Russia and Egypt coming up at 11 o'clock Pacific. Team previews, the Minnesota Vikings. Shot clock with MLB futures. And the play of the day coming up. Rained out yesterday with the Cubbies game. And some good info to give you right off the top. Bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books, and some sick streaks in Major League Baseball. Let's start with all the bad beats. In baseball, the Giants, who took money, 140 up to 160. Also a tough bet, but they led 4-2 in the ninth. How about the under 7.5 as well? Giants in the under becomes Marlins and the over. A 3-spot off Strickland in the ninth. The Marlins rally to win 5-4 with a 3-spot in the ninth.
Yeah, and look, it's funny. I had a conversation yesterday where someone's like, you play a lot more overs than unders. I'm like, yeah, I do, especially when it comes to baseball. When you have bad beats in baseball, the vast majority, I can't think of any. Sometimes you have a 10-0 lead and the starting pitcher gets rocked and you lose 11-10 or something. That might happen once a year. The daily basis bad beats in baseball are all coming from bullpen meltdowns, all of them. One team's got a big lead, the under looks good, boom, the bullpen kills you. Boom, the bullpen kills you. That's why I don't like playing a lot of unders in MLB. It's bad for your psychology when you're losing these bets night after night. Giants, under, crash and burn, a bullpen meltdown, not the only one we're going to talk about on this show. So when it comes to psychology for these games, don't make yourself crazy. If you're on the wrong end of, bad beats, under every day, maybe stay away from the unders a little bit. That's what's going to happen over the course of the long MLB campaign.
Here's two more. The Rays, a juicy return, plus 250. Led 4-0, but led 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth. The Astros get 2, walk off and win 12 in a row. Also goes over. That prop cashes. Longest winning streak offshore and other places. 11.5 for longest winning streak. So that goes over with the win. And the under in the Phillies-Cardinals game was 8.5. It was 4-2 Phillies in the ninth. Munoz strikes out, reaches on a wild pitch. They tie it. They get 1 in the 10th. Phillies get 2 in the bottom half to win 6-5.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk a screw job for under bettors, 4-2 in the ninth, and you get the strikeout. Oh, but it's a wild pitch, and the guy gets on first base, and next thing you know, it's 4-4, and the next thing you know, you're under 8.5 ticket. You can sit there and rip it up. Brutal beat. That's the worst one of the bunch, Paulie. No question in my mind. When you strike him out, you got what you wanted. Gets on first base. Next thing you know, the game is tied. Under, crashes and burns, Philadelphia, St. Louis.
One that hurt my feelings in soccer, England, Tunisia, under 2.5. Kane scores in added time, the 91st minute. His second goal, also the Tunisia goal, was on a PK. I don't know what the guy from England was doing, as the guy wasn't going to score, but he mauled him for some reason and led to the PK. As that goes over with the goal in the 91st minute, 2-1. The draw was tough, plus 320, although I can't cry too much about the under, as England missed a ton of great opportunities in the first half. It should have had a 2 or 3 goal lead. And also a great prop from Nigel Seeley, as you saw Japan with a big upset earlier. How about there's been 9 PKs so far in the 15 matches. If you can bet that offshore as well, will there be a PK in the match? You're getting a good return on that, a plus price. It doesn't even have to be successful, but you're seeing a ton of PKs early on so far. More on that coming up with the upsets and the Nigel Seeley prop as well when we get to Russia and Egypt. Bad for the books. Some of these are Las Vegas lines at William Hill. Sweden was plus $1.20, went off the favorite. They won 1-0. Their only goal on a PK. The under 2 went from plus 105 to minus 125. 1-0 final. Belgium over 2.5. Juice minus 30, but up to 160. They got there themselves. They win 3-0. There's some soccer results there from the World Cup. And look at the steam. Anti-Kansas City. Why not? They're terrible. Only 22 wins. Right there with the Orioles for the worst team in the league. Rangers even up to $1.40. They won 6-3. Indians 245 up to 280. They won 6-2. And the Astros took a little bit of money, as high as 320 in some of the square shops in town in Vegas. They get to come from behind and win 5-4.
Yeah, and lots to talk about here. Let's start with the bad results for the books from the World Cup matches, with Sweden taking money, Sweden under taking money, Belgium over taking money, and all of those cashing, even though it wasn't easy necessarily around the board. But when we look at the global markets, for World Cup betting. This is not a market that is dominated by you and I, Pauly. It's not a market that's dominated by smaller bettors. The syndicates, the big-time syndicates, the seven-figure betting syndicates are heavily involved all over the place here. And when you want to talk about global handle, you think about the Super Bowl, well, World Cup, match after match approaches that incredible amount of handle. Really enormous numbers worldwide on these World Cup matches. And don't forget, you're fighting against the best and most well-funded syndicates in the world. I'm not surprised. The books had a relatively tough result yesterday. And you talk about the big steam in baseball. Here comes chalk time. We're in the summer months. You have good teams against bad teams. I know the Astros had to rally back from behind, but still, $3 favorite yesterday. The Indians up to $2.80 yesterday. We're going to see these prices continue to rise throughout the summer months. When the good teams play the bad teams, they tend to be one-sided in the markets, certainly reflecting that with these inflated numbers on the chalk. Although we say inflated numbers, hey, Houston won, Cleveland won, maybe they weren't inflated all that much.
It's going to be ugly. Yankees 47-22, Red Sox 49-24, Seattle 46-26. Look at the Royals 22-50, Baltimore's 20-50. What happens when they trade guys and we get to the call-up in September as well? I mean, who knows how high those prices are? And the White Sox are 24-47, and the Royals already made a trade yesterday. So it's only going to get worse as you're going to see astronomical prices with the haves and the have-nots. Couple of bad bets. The Angels even money up to 120 at home against the Diamondbacks. They lost 7-4, and this one never had a chance. Brewers Pirates over 8.5 up to 9. That was a 1-0 final. For some streaks here, the Yankees have played 13 straight unders. How about that? What were the odds on that before the season, with their pitching staff a little shaky with the starters and the 27 Yankees as far as the offense, how many lethal guys they have that can go deep. 13 straight unders for the Yankees, a 14-1-2 under run for the White Sox, and the Rays, the bad beat last night, but the Rays 11-3 to the under on the road with what's going on. So these are three great numbers, as you always talk about. SportsCenter will tell you about the 12-game winning streak with the Astros, but it'll be hard to find that the Yankees have played 13 straight unders.
Yeah, I'll give you a hint. You won't see that on SportsCenter. That's why you watch SportsBit. That's what we're here for, to help you find some of these streaks that you may have missed. Look, what does it take to cash 13 consecutive unders? There's only one thing that it takes: a great bullpen. Which bullpen was the best bullpen coming into the season? Yankees. Which bullpen is the most dangerous bullpen right now? Yankees. There's no question in my mind. This 13-game under streak, you can't say, oh, I could have predicted it. I'm sure of it. But teams with good bullpens will stay under. Teams with bad lineups, White Sox and Rays, will stay under. That's what we're seeing right now in a time of year where the overs often come into play. These three teams, Yankees, White Sox, Rays, all bucking the current trend. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.